The Penguin, episode 1. I just wanted to give my initial thoughts on this episode before we get in episode 2 that releases at the weekend. Just to give you the lowdown on my thoughts on The Batman, absolutely loved it. Yes, from 2022, directed by Matt Reeves. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought Robert Pattinson's portrayal as Batman particularly was awesome. I love the detective vibe that we went for with this iteration of Batman. Bruce Wayne, however, I could have seen a little bit more of, but I'm sure that's to come in sequels down the line and whatnot. It was primarily a Batman-focused film, but a very good one at that. Maybe it's a tad too long. Gotham City, amazing. I thought they did a really good job on that. If you know me, I'm a stickler for Gotham City done right. To me, the Burton Gotham City and the Schumacher Gotham City, that's peak perfection when it comes to Gotham. Then we get to Batman Begins Gotham City, decent. Get to The Dark Knight in Chicago. Get to The Dark Knight Rises, Chicago, but snowy Chicago. Anyway, stop talking about Gotham. The Penguin episode 1. Really good so far, guys. You know what it is, right? I wasn't like massively looking forward to this show. And that might be sacrilege because I'm a big Batman fan and you're like, what? How could you not be looking forward to this show? And yeah, you know, Colin Farrell was one of the best parts of the Batman, and his portrayal of the Penguin, in my eyes, is one of the best we've seen on screen so far, if not the best. Even with this real life take on it, the fact that they went above and beyond with the makeup job is chef's kiss. I really appreciate it. Just because we get like a solid hour with the Penguin here, it just, you get to really have a look at the detail and stuff. His face really does tell 1,000 stories in my eyes. With that big gnarly janky scar across his face, it just looks really cool, really cool. And I like the job that he's done with Barry Keoghan's Joker as well. Obviously that is like a disease that he's had from birth. I do fall into that camp where I do like my fantastical Batman. You know, I want my Batman fighting a big crocodile man. And I personally feel like we've already had a real take on Batman with the Nolan universe, which he done a great job with. Obviously, Nolan trilogy is amazing, but I was a little bit worried that this was going to go a little bit too real as well. And while it is, they go really dark with it. You know, Gotham City is a total bin bag in the Batman, which I totally love. One thing for me is if you get your Gotham City right and you get the villains right, I can deal with the fact that you're making this Batman very real, which is a complaint I've seen crop up, guys. Is this Batman just too real? If we were not getting James Gunn's universe that's about to make its appearance next year with his Superman movie, and later down the line it's been announced that Andy Muschietti's going to direct The Brave and the Bold, the new Batman film. We're yet to see a casting for the new Batman in James Gunn's universe, but you know damn well right that Batman is going to be fantastical. So I'm cool. It's already been announced that there's a Robin going to be in that universe, Damian Wayne. That means there's already been a lot of Robins kicking about, and we must have a Nightwing there, Dick Grayson. We're in for a treat when it comes to James Gunn's Batman, who are into the fantastical side of things. But it's just not needed here. Matt Reeves didn't set that up in his original film. Now, if we weren't getting James Gunn's Batman later down the line, I would be a crying fanboy right now. I do like my fantastical, and I do like my campy, over-the-top Batman movies. I mean, look at that shelf. But yeah, guys, this episode was really, really, really solid. Like, I haven't watched The Sopranos, so I ain't going to be on here comparing it to The Sopranos. Haven't seen it, but I've seen plenty of Scorsese films and gangster and mob films, and it is going for that similar sort of vibe, but we're very much dealing with a Batman villain here. Which brings me on to, like, Colin Farrell's performance in this episode in particular. All I could think of at the end of the episode was like, geez, I'm like Team Penguin, man. Like, I really am rooting for this character in a weird way, even though he is despicable. Yeah, he does some finale straight away at the beginning of the episode, which I won't totally spoil here. I'm like rooting for the Penguin here, which I find a bit strange, but I think that all could come crashing down later on in the series. We have Kristen Milotti, who's playing Sophia Falcone, does an excellent job in the episode. She goes from being totally straight-faced to a total psycho in seconds. She has been recently released from Arkham Asylum. It makes sense that she's a little bit feral. She's eating with her hands and stuff like that when they go to this nice restaurant. But yeah, I'm interested. She's obviously like our main big bad, I think, of this series going forward. Looks like she's got the Falcone estate on lockdown pretty well. Yeah, interested to see where her character goes throughout the series. But my favourite character has to be Victor, who is an aspiring young criminal. The Penguin catches features Victor trying to steal his wheels off his penguin mobile at the start of the episode. Big purple car, or should I say plum car. So this is either an Easter egg or it's a nod that Victor's going to be Robin moving forward. No, I joke. With him stealing the wheels off the penguin mobile, this is a nod to the second Robin. So how he is introduced. His initial introduction with Batman is Jason Todd trying to steal the wheels off the Batmobile. So I thought that was a nice nod. But Colin Farrell's sort of relationship dynamic that he does have with Victor in this is my favourite part of this episode, to be honest. I'm really intrigued to see where that goes down the line. And I'm just going to say it now, early prediction. I think Penguin ends up killing Victor. I'm just going to say it now. I know that'd be mortifying just after that first episode we've watched there. There's a certain section in this first episode where Victor helps Penguin, and when Penguin is done with Victor, he tells him to walk to the sunset, as in he's going to pop him in the back of the head. That event might come back around again in the last episode, but that is pure speculation. Yeah, so Gotham City looks magnificent. They've really carried over the dingy look from the Batman. Obviously, at the end of the Batman, Paul Dano's Riddler, it blew up the waterfront in Gotham City, so half of it got flooded. One of the plot lines in this episode is to do with the drugs and how they sort of got washed away, but they managed to regain some of them and collect some of them, but now they're tainted with sewage water. Penguin makes a joke that, you know, the junkies won't care. One other little Easter egg I want to get into, and one little thing that could expand into something bigger, or I might be totally wrong. Let's have a little chat about Clayface. And you're saying, why are you talking about Clayface in episode 1 of The Penguin? Well, I'll tell you why. In the first half of this episode, we have the Penguin who goes to meet a working girl, should we say, and he is after an alibi because he does some shady stuff at the start of this episode and he needs an alibi, so if the cops come calling, he can say he was here. But this working girl, I was like, who is she called? And her character in this show is called Eve Carlo. And you might be like, Ellis, right? What the hell does that mean? In Batman lore, we have Clayface, whose real name is Basil Carlo. This could be nothing. Mike Marino, makeup artist of the Penguin, was interviewed recently. He's obviously doing the press tour right now. And they asked him, Mike Marino, any villains, Batman's rogues gallery that you'd like to, you know, apply your great work to? And he gave 2 answers. One of them, Two-Face. I could see that one coming, and I think that one is going to come. And his second answer was Clayface. Now, it might mean nothing, but I could see down the line somewhere, maybe it's not in the next movie, but movie number 3, getting a real version take on Clayface. I could see it happening, and you could probably say how. If you've ever seen HBO's Outsiders, there's definitely a way of doing it. Go and check that show out. Really good. But guys, overall thoughts on The Penguin so far? Really digging it. Like I said, I'm not going to review it week by week. I'm going to do a spoiler video at the end of the series because there'll be plenty of speculation, I imagine, about the Batman Part 2 after this whole thing's finished. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got time for right now. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.